Xperia, play. Xperia, play. Xperia, play. Xperia, play. Haha, I just love this phone. Hey, what's going on? It's Gilbert P with TCG, and today we're looking at the Xperia Play. This isn't a phone that was sent to us for a review. This is my phone. It has the one feature that I've always wanted in a phone pretty much since phones came out, which is controller right here. But before we get into that, let's look at the hardware. The phone has a 4-inch screen, right? So you can see right here. You can see that there's 4 buttons on the bottom here. So you have your back button, your home button, your menu button, and your search button. At the top, you have, of course, the Sony logo, the ear piece, and actually that's that, and a front-facing camera right here. And also you have your sensors, so when you put your phone on your face, that you don't start pushing buttons and stuff like that when you're on a call. Just makes sense. On the side here, you have a 3.5mm jack. You have also your micro USB connector, very standard. On this side here, you have left trigger, right trigger, volume buttons, and that's pretty much it for that. At the top of the phone, and also kind of weirdly placed, that's one thing that sometimes I often miss the power button. It's at the top of the phone here. You can see within the power button, you could find the LED indicator. If you have an email or whatever, you can see it's here. The thing is though, if your phone is down, you won't see it. So you need to place your phone down like this, facing you, like on your desk or something, so you can see the LED indicator. So not very good placement. It's sometimes almost like it shouldn't even be there. They might as well not even have put it if they're gonna place it there. On the back of the phone, you have a 5-megapixel camera. You have a flash, and also, and right here you can see there's a little hole there, right? You can see there's a hole, and that is a second mic. The hole to remove the battery door is actually right here at the bottom, so you just kind of like pull it. I'm not gonna do it, but you would just pull it, and the whole back comes off. It has stereo speakers. I think there's only one other phone in the market, the HTC Surround, which is a Windows Phone 7 phone, that actually has stereo speakers. So good on you, Sony, to add this feature, because when I'm listening to music and like I said, playing games, it's so much more enjoyable. It's not mono. Mono's dead. Why are phones still coming out with mono sound anyways? Like, you have to put your headset in to get stereo sound. Pop it open. What you get is the control. As you can see, you have your directional controls here. You have the menu button, the same Android menu button there. Start, select, and your typical PlayStation controls, so triangle, circle, X, and square. And then you have these controls here. These are actually kind of like your joysticks, right? So if you ever held a PS3 controller or Xbox controller, you'll see that there's always these 2 joysticks on the controller. So these actually replace them. And at first I was like, oh damn, this is come on Sony Ericsson, Sony Ericsson, man. Why would you come out with something so whack like that? It's supposed to be touch, right? What I mean by touch is you're supposed to get tactile feedback on everything that you push. They added a little metal thing. in the middle of the pad here, and then there's ridges all around. So when you're running your finger, first of all, you feel this little metallic part in the middle. You feel the edges, and it works very well, actually. I've played some games, and I got used to it very quickly using these touch pads. That's a great workaround that Sony Ericsson thought of, to keep the phone thin, which actually it isn't that bad. I don't know if it looks really thick to you, but when you consider that you do have the slide-out controller, it feels really good in my pocket, really good in my hand, and that's because of the curve. I don't know if you see the curve right here. It's very well curved, and it fits great in your hand. It's just a pleasure to hold. Let's unlock this baby, and let's see what's inside. Right, so as you can see, this is my home screen right here. And you know, like Sony made their own widgets and stuff, so you have this digital clock widget here. I think this is more of a like advice, like tips widget. So something you probably get rid of very quickly. Media widget here, so you know, music, pictures, video, so very quickly accessible. At the top here, you have just like a music player. So you know, if I push this. Yeah, man. Alright, so before I get this video taken off YouTube, I need to stop that song. The way that this handles folders also is pretty good, right? I mean, here you have a media folder, and you can see if I can tap that here. It's a gallery, music, applications. And you see, like, it pops up very nice, right? It darkens everything else and then really focuses on the content that you want to look at. Right? Oh, and this right here is like a picture carousel, right? So you can just go through different pictures and stuff. Right, pretty good. And right, oh, that's a picture of me and my daughter. She's so pretty. This widget right here is the timescape, right? So you can see different conversations that you're having with people. It updates with your Twitter stuff, Facebook stuff, SMS, and pretty much anything that's happening that's social. Here you have the PlayStation Pocket widget, so you can see the PlayStation games that you've downloaded. So far I have Crash Bandicoot, and for some reason World Series Poker is showing here. So I guess it chooses games. I don't know how World Series Poker got there, but it did. And then here you have Get New Games, so it kind of brings you to an app that shows you Xperia Play optimized games to download, right? And it's more like a recommendation app, right? So if you click games that are available on the market, it'll pull up that game in the market for you to download. And if it's a Gameloft game, then it'll bring you to the Gameloft website to get it. On the last page, you can see some examples of some of the widgets that are included. There's actually a good amount of widgets to use. So if you want to quickly turn on your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth, vibrate, GPS, it's not showing here, but there is one there. And it's actually some really useful widgets that you can use. And they also have an all-in-one widget. So if you don't want to keep everything separated, you can also do that too. Sony Ericsson actually did a good job of including useful widgets for you to use. Now let's look at the application drawer. One of the differences though of this versus maybe most other Android phones is that you scroll sideways, right? It's page by page. The cool thing is that you can actually move the applications around. So let's say I want this app to be here, I can do that, and I can customize where the applications are, which a very small amount of Android phones actually allow to do that. Also, if you want to organize your apps in other orders like alphabetical order, most used, or recently installed, you can do that too. The skinning job that Sony Ericsson did on the Xperia Play is actually pretty good. They didn't go in there and ruin the Android experience. What they did though is really make some things just look a little bit better. Like for example, the phone application. Out of the box, I'm finding that this looks pretty good, right? I mean, the buttons are nice, the layout, colors, everything is easy to see, and I really like it. The camera itself is actually not too bad for pictures. What's weird though is that, as you can see, if you've ever used an Nexus S or a Nexus 1, this has the same camera, right? Like the same camera application, so the layout is very similar, which I don't find very good, because everything else on this phone is so nicely skinned and looks so good. And then you get to the camera app and then you get that good old ghetto camera with the stone looking background, which I'm not a big fan of. But the pictures are really good, I find. I mean, you know what? It's obviously not the best. It doesn't compare to say the pictures on an iPhone, but I'm enjoying it. I've taken some really good pictures with with my daughter and stuff. There's nothing really to complain about with the quality of the pictures. Now, one thing that's unique about the Xperia Play, and I think the Xperia Arc does this too, is that now on the Android market, what you have is a tab. You can see there's a tab right there for Sony Ericsson. If you tap it, what you have is a list of applications that are recommended by Sony Ericsson. It just helps you to find applications, and the market is sometimes just so hard to find anything that is good or useful. I think that any kind of help is good, and Sony, I think, take a lot of pride in ensuring that the applications here are of quality, and I do appreciate that. There's nothing here I've seen that I was like, ooh, why did Sony put that there? God damn. Overall, the Sony Xperia Play is a phone that just does what it's supposed to do very well. It's not the most powerful phone out there, because right now you have dual core phones, and this phone is still single core. What it does bring to the table is a very focused experience. So you get the Xperia Play and you're playing games and you have a controller. No other phone out there has a controller like that. So that's really something you have to consider when you're looking to buy a phone. If you want to play games and you want to be able to do that the best way possible, well, the Sony Xperia Play is focused on that. There's stereo speakers. So the sound quality is much better than most phones. There's nothing that compares right now because most phones just don't have two speakers. They only have one. The controllers, I mean, it's just really fun. And I mean, I'm playing it and I'm playing also, man, I'm almost obsessed with it. There's never a dull moment really because I'm just enjoying it. So it's not about the totality of, the hardware, specs and everything like that. This phone just brings something to the table which is completely different than others. The value proposition here is really about gaming. And if you're into gaming and you're into entertainment, that's what this phone focuses on. So a lot of reviewers out there hate on the fact that this thing is not the cutting edge. But sometimes it's not about just technology. It's about when technology gets out of the way and what you have is an experience that was made just for you and what you're looking for. This is Gilbert P, and this is the Xperia Play. I think it's a phone you should definitely try. It brings something completely new to the table, and that is what the major value is around this phone. Well, thank you for watching. Make sure to visit thecellularguru.com for the best news and reviews on anything that has to do with mobile, and if you want a Canadian focus on all that stuff. Alright, so peace out. This is Gilbert P, and I'll check you guys later. Xperia. What? Xperia. What? Xperia. What?